Hello, my name's Colin Urwin from Glenarm, and as a member of the Glens of Antrim Storytelling and Cultural Heritage Group, I'll be posting a few videos of stories, songs and poems for the Nine Glens website, so they can be accessed on YouTube or the Nine Glens website. This morning I'm going to do a wee recitation that I wrote called Cuilen Bán. I hope you enjoy it. Cuilen Bán. A runner in to our townland, the neighbours said was daft. Some of them even whispered he dabbled at witchcraft. They scared themselves with stories about the bogeyman who lived in the house beside the moss where a brown burn ran. Now Cuilen Bán was a rare boy, it's only fair to say, but in the most delightful, soul-enriching way. A man of many insights, as far as a mind could see. He knew the song of every bird, the name of every tree. He knew each and every star, and he watched them through a glass. He didn't care if the neighbours thought there was wiser eating grass. He talked about Cassiopeia, the Pleiades and Gemini. He said the greatest show on earth was a clear night sky. He gave his heart to the countryside, devoted from the first, a son of Mother Nature for knowledge and unquenchable thirst. The dawn chorus was music to his ears. He found drama everywhere when he watched a falcon stooping or a plover clap the air. He took delight in the fox cubs rolling around their den. The tragedy in his book was a pack of hunting men. He used to take in orphans and strays of every kind. There were badgers, hares and jackdaws, and once an owl that was blind. Caterpillars and tadpoles, the miracle to observe, stood on a shelf by the window, his curiosity to serve. He thought spiders and beetles the most mesmerising of all, and the way he let them run up his arm made my skin crawl. He could lift a trout from the river with nothing more than his hand, but he said he couldn't bring himself to fry the wee thing in the pan. He lived on soda bread and eggs, and the hens he kept them for were better fed than he was, and they laid in a kitchen drawer. He collected things like a magpie. Everything caught his eye. He had fossils and rocks that sparkled, treasures no money could buy. He had stones the shape of an arrow some boy had made from a flint. I forget how many thousands of years, he said, since they were spent. He had wee birds' nests and seashells, even the skull of a crow, and a thing he called a meteorite, he said he found in the snow. The stuff that man had, he could have opened a county museum, but I was one of the very few that ever came to see him. Oh, he was a real eccentric, in every sense of the word. In all my life, before or since, the likes I never heard. He came off with wonderful stories, written by old dead Greeks. He never told the same one twice, and I called every week. I heard about Finn McCool and his deerhounds, Bran and Scalone, and yarns about banshees and fairies left me feared to walk home. Aye, Cuilen Bán was a rare one. Of that there can be no doubt. But every man has his shadow, and in that he can't be left out. Once a year in May, he fell into an old dark humour. They said he'd mourned a loved one, let it be truth or rumour. For a week he never ate nor drunk, except for his homemade wine. And dreary it was to see him, not sitting up on cloud nine. He lost his sense of wonder. He became a different man. Just sat there day after day with a sore head in his hands. But sooner or later the weather always loses its grip. Ask any old farming man or the captain of any ship. Cuilen Bán would soon get up and tend his honey bee hives, and start taking interest again in the wee creatures' lives. And then you'd see him out walking, a switch of grass in his mouth, his head up and his eyes closed and his face turned to the south. And then one year he vanished. Like the corncrake, he never came back. The neighbours nodded agreement. Cuilen Bán was bound to crack. They searched for him high up and low, in every hole in the moss, and they quizzed me and everyone they happened to come across. Of Cuilen Bán they found no trace, and I never told on him. They probably think he's lying somewhere, the rig of a skeleton. God only knows, but maybe by now that could be the case. But when I hear the folk talking, it's hard to keep a straight face. When they say, oh, he was took by the fairies, I just have to laugh. For them's the very same folk had the cheek to say Cuilen Bán was daft. I never bat an eyelid when they say he must have drowned at sea, for I don't want to let slip the secret he trusted to me. His house of curiosities is gathering dust where they sit, and a letter he left in the dresser he gifted me every bit. I haven't the heart for changes. I watch for him in the lane. I know I'm wasting my time, but I keep watch just the same. And whiles I imagine him walking on a lonely western strand, the whole bloody world to himself and miles of sand. But now I think I'll be quiet, lest I give Cuilen Bán away. Maybe I will sometime, but forgive me, it won't be the day. Thanks for listening.